So first of all, I would like to thank all of our audience for being with us until now during this interview sessions. And now we have Roger Flolo. Roger is CEO of L-Link company. And maybe I will leave the floor for you, Roger, in order to just introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your academic background.
Yes, thank you. I can. My name is Roger Flølo. I'm 52 years old, living at the west coast of Norway. I'm the CEO of L-Link, a position I've had for the last 2 years. And my academic background or educational background is I'm a civil engineer or master's degree in electrical engineering from the university in Trondheim, NTH as it was named in those days. And I also have some courses from an American university, but that's only for some weeks. So that is actually my very short academic background or educational wise, my background.
Okay. You showed that you are engineering. You have this
Yeah.
background in engineering, but you said that you get some courses from American University. Is this also related to engineering science or something different?
Yes, a very narrow field within electrical engineering. Some courses that were not able to get in Europe. So United States was the only place they had that kind of courses.
Okay. So actually, I will come back to this point at a later stage, but I would like to ask you what you are CEO of L-Link. What is the L-Link is? What you are doing?
Yes, L-Link is a robotic company. We are actually taking part of a quite young industry. And our main product or what we have developed is a ceiling drilling robot for the construction industry. And that was something that was developed, I think it started 9 years ago. We were bought partly by a large industrial group. It is a company called Hilti, it's a global company within the tooling industry. So they bought us in 2017. So for 4 years we have had a cooperation regarding development and industrialization of this robot. So this solution is now distributed all over the world, and we in L-Link continue to develop this robot. So we have actually over the years developed from being more a robotic company, robotic development kind of company, to more into R&D and software company. So we are quite narrow. 90% of our revenue they come from Hilti, and the other 10% is from various customers, mainly from Norway, for other type of robotic concepts that we are developing. So
Okay.
and this last 10% is then very early stage concept development.
Okay. Okay. So you said that now the majority of your income is from software development, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why you shift or the company shifted the orientation from report to software development?
I think that is mainly due to the nature of the cooperation with Hilti, because in the start they were looking for new concepts. We had the concept that they could be interested in, They found it to work. They found it interesting, so they bought 30% of the company and also the rights for this robot and the patents that also was in the basket at that time. And from there on, our task has been to tune the robot and make it or improve it. And improving the robot has mainly been a software issue. So that's why. So it is actually a natural thing, a natural development.
Okay. But just for curiosity, a robot, this means that you are working with artificial intelligence. So you learn the robot some action if they saw some event, right?
We can, and perhaps a newer version of the robot will do that. But the robot that is in the market today, it is operated by an operator, a person who so to speak, push the button and ask the robot to do a certain set of tasks, a job which is in a job file that is downloaded from the cloud.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Yes. Actually, I have a question before I start the rest of my list here. You are moved from at the beginning you were developing hardware, and now you are moving to software. So from this movement, your target of employee change. So for example, at the beginning you was target a certain type of person to be hired, and now you are looking for other type of persons.
Yes, that is correct, because in the beginning we hired people mainly within the hardware part, and so the team grew in the hardware direction. But over the last 4 years, I guess, 64 years, we have been recruiting mainly software engineers. So and that is also, of course, to be in line with what being the major development in the company for the reason I just mentioned.
Yep. Okay, if I return back with you in time a bit, when you made this movement from hardware to software, what you did with the existing employee at this time? So did you give them more courses in IT, in software development, or you start to hire new people? How you made this switch within the people, within the team that you had at this time?
The team was quite good. Or perhaps I should say excellent in their area. So what we had to do was just to multiply them,
Okay.
and by that employing a similar type of competence within the software area.
Okay. Yep. So you bought, you bought from society, from outside, software developer to the team.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This is very interesting. And from your introduction, you said that you are engineering, and now you are a CEO of one of largest companies that are working in this field. I think as CEO, you are doing different things than your education. So maybe now you are more in management business and doing things like this. First of all, how you or why you did this movement from academia, research, doing your master, your PhD, to move a bit toward industry? Why you had this movement?
This is a difficult question, and I just need some time to reflect on it.
Please take your time.
And I think the transition started many years ago. After my education, I worked in Trondheim, worked at the university and also at SINTEF. So I had several types of jobs. I learned a lot in the technical field, and after some years, I moved to Oslo and started there in a consulting company. There, the task was to build up a new entity within that company. So it was partially a technical job and partially a managing job. So that was the first job that actually has something to do with management. And I think that was 5-6 years after I was graduated.
So you was still fresh at this time.
Yes. And I think that after some years, it evolved into more and more management, and perhaps I'm good at it. I'm just don't know, but I was recruited, and my managers I think found that I was better to do that kind of jobs than in a technical field. So and also you need to be fresh in the technical field, and after some years in management, you are not that fresh anymore. So I think that is also a natural part. So I'd advise to people in the technical field, and that is to stay there as long as possible.
Yeah, I think
It's hard to return.
Yeah, I think this is good because we had some interview for people who now working in business sector, and for some reason they made very sharp U-turn, like after PhD just jump from here to there. But I can see from what you are saying, you try to move a bit step by step until you became like a CEO, like the boss of one of these largest companies.
Yes, and I also worked some years in Oslo in a large listed company, and that was the first time I got my real CEO job. I think I was around 35, perhaps, or something, and so that's the place I got the real management experience, and then I also was invited to attend the boards in technical companies and other companies. So I also then evolved in a more high level management board direction as the years went by.
Okay. If you allow me to still back in the history a bit and ask you, when you just finish your master thesis and you spend five years a bit in academia, and then you start to get your first position like CEO. At this time, do you think your teaching qualification or your experience in management was strong enough to get this challenge, or you did some search, some reading in order to know, okay, now I am in the business sector, I will be CEO, I will manage a team, so I need to read a bit about how to do these things?
Also a very good question, and I did not take any courses. I actually bought a huge table of books and read them and tried to figure out, to simplify and just taking the lessons learned from these books and especially into the economic area, which you need to have some kind of control over if you want to be in the management sector. So I think that was the main source of learning. That was through the books that I just bought and tried to read. So for me, it was no courses. So I had to learn it the hard way.
Okay. Yep. This means that there is no courses at all at this time at university level to teach you how to be good management.
it could be, but I think I did just not have time to enter into a management program. So my way was through reading books after working hours, and during working hours actually learned the hard way, just through experience.
Yep. Yes. Yes.
So, but there could have been lectures or courses that I could have attended. I think I checked, but I think to cover all the aspects, it had to be a full-time course, and I didn't have time to.
And just yeah. Yep. So do you think that if we return back again, since you made this jump from here to there, do you think it will be much better for you when you was studying your bachelor thesis or your bachelor level and master level to have such courses within the program, so you don't need to go to other faculty or to other program to get some courses there, but within the engineering program?
Yes, I think that's very, very worthwhile. And at the university, we had some courses in what was it called then? Organizations and management, or something in that direction. So I don't think it was mandatory, but I took a couple of those. But I truly can say that that was on a very high level, suited for being in very large companies. And in Norway, we do not have very large companies, so reading US textbooks on how to deal with organizations is perhaps not the right angle on things.
Okay.
But okay, there were courses, and I took some of them, and I found them very useful for the purpose of being interested in the field, and just to kick off some kind of an interest, or starting a spark.
Yeah, I think this is good, interesting point. I will come to this in a couple of minutes. You said that there is some courses, but this courses is a bit higher level than the expected from junior researcher or students at bachelor or master level. So maybe this will bring us later to a point that do we need to have high level courses or just shallow superficial level courses, but we will come to this later. For now, when you are hiring person, so if you decide to hire an person who has some software skills, writing codes and so on, you are focusing on hiring person who has very great mind in writing codes, or maybe it's better to have someone who have some skills in management, or maybe who has some skills management and doing a bit of hardware things, because your company is working with this two things, the hardware and the software. So what you as a CEO, as a leader of a company, how you are thinking when you are coming to hire someone?
Yes, this is a difficult topic, actually, because, and very interesting. We have found it difficult to find people that have good experience and also are good at both doing coding and being in management.
Okay.
So the combination is there are probably people out there, but that is rare. So we usually end up with either purely coding or software oriented, or purely project management or management people. But in a rather large perspective, we are quite small. So what we actually need is people that is interested in both. So from time to time, that is very interesting competence to have within our organization.
Okay. Yep. This is good. Do you know any example that happened with you? Because now you say that you start to hire pure software developer or pure business. Do you happen with you that at some stage there is a conflict between these two end member in your company, like the software developer can't understand the task that is coming from the business people who asking him to finish a task with time? Or other way around, like for example, the business people can't understand, okay, this software code needs some time to be developed. So something like this happened before, like such conflict between these two end member?
Yes, I think that is a constant conflict because from the business perspective, you need certain answers to how long will it take, how many hours will it take to develop this thing, and that is for those who are doing the coding, that is very hard to answer, but they come up with an estimate, and when that comes to the management board or table, they take that as a answer with 100% certainty, and then we have a mistake.
Okay, for this uncertainty.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that is an ongoing conflict, and I think that is valid both in our place and many other companies as well.
Okay, so this is not only for you, this is for other companies as well.
Yeah.
So it's sort of challenge,
yeah.
a big challenge for all. Yep. Yeah. So what you are doing within your company, so do you think you from time to time you run like training program for your software developer, just to bring them to the table with the people in the administration, try to teach them how administration is going on, or other way around, try to bring administrative people on the table to the people who develop software, just to teach them a bit, like software is not an easy task. We need to write code, we need to test the code, and so on. So there is something like this happened in your company in order to just bring or to bridge this gap between the two end member?
We had tried to do some internal exercises or courses on project management, for example, and I think planning projects, that is okay, but I think when you bring in the economic part or financial part of a project, then it often becomes more difficult. So it has not been easy. Not easy at all. So at the moment, we actually are going in the other direction and actually hiring in an accountant to do the economic part of the project management. Should I say topic or reporting, and then the engineers, they are taking care of the technical part of the reporting. So, but then that has a large disadvantage because we are decoupling those two topics, but we are not that large, so it is possible to manage. But I think if we have been 100 employees, it would have been more difficult to operate in that way.
Okay, yeah. If we try to do some estimation, like a number, if you have a project with, for example, 100,000 krona, how much you lose when you are operating like this from this 100,000 krona?
I'm not losing because I will lose if I spend the engineers to do topics they are not liking or are not capable of doing. Then the hours buy, and those hours I can sell in the market at a very high. Yes. So for us, it makes perfectly much sense to to spend people where they have their best skills,
Okay.
and that also implies then to hire in an accountant to do very easy, very fast the economic part of the reporting from the projects.
Okay. So you say that maybe it's better if engineering or a guy who is deep in one point, it's much better to keep him as it is and try to find someone else try to cover the administration thing. This would be much faster and much easier than
Yeah.
just teaching him and bring him to the administration part of the project.
Yeah, yeah.
But also you highlight that if a big company that has hundreds of employees doing such model, this can be a problem for them.
Yes, I guess so, because then the projects will be there will be many projects going on in parallel. There will be more persons involved in different kind of projects. So I think then the situation will be much more complex than we have.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Well, I would like to ask you, do you currently have something to do with academia and university in any context, like giving,
Yeah.
for example, lecture, you are teaching in academia, or there is
Yeah.
sort of collaboration somehow?
Yes. We do not have lectures, but we are contributing to master thesis, bachelor thesis. So I'm not. I do not can't remember the English word for it, but we are then lining out the text for a thesis, and then we have a collaboration then with the university for doing this thesis. So, and then we also have the possibility for having students as internships during summer. So that is, I think that is that is the touch points with the university or the academia.
Okay. Okay. So you're sort of developing a research problem somehow at your company, and then you ask academia to get master student try to solve this research question or research problem as master thesis or maybe PhD thesis or so.
Yes, we do. And we also have this collaboration with Hilti, which is they have the headquarters in Luxembourg, which is close to Switzerland. So they have their cooperation with the ETH in Swedish. So sometimes we ask ETH to solve a problem in one way, and then we ask the university in Trondheim to solve it in another way, and then we'll see which of them are solving the problem best.
Okay, so this is not a joint project between the two universities. It's the same problem, but two teams are trying to solve it with different perspective.
Yeah.
And then you choose the best of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. If we came to this point about what do you think about the universities today and the courses, the current courses? Do you think this is enough, or we can do something from our side, from academia side, in order to help business people to develop more than today, try to flourish, try to bring society forward? So do you think what we have now is enough or not in terms of courses and training program and so on?
It's difficult to answer. A very broad question, also important question.
Yep.
And I'm not fully aware of which kind of courses which are out there.
If we speak, for example, because you are engineering, and I think you have still somehow link with engineering faculties and departments. If we speak, for example, from this point, like the courses at the different engineering department at a university.
Yes, perhaps I'll try to answer the question from a different angle. In robotics, what we really love is if we have a person that has some experience or skills in, for example, being an electrician. And that is okay, coming from not the or the academic part, but actually from doing a handcraft. And if that person then has some, after some years doing the electrician stuff, found out, okay, I want to also study something into robotics. Then we have, when that person is graduating, we have an excellent starting point for having an extremely good engineer.
Okay.
So that is what we really love. That is the combination of the practical things and the more mathematical or academic areas.
Okay. Okay. And this mixing is missing now.
It is very rare to find those persons, and perhaps it could have been an easier path through the whole educational system for people with the more practical background. But that is a huge, huge challenge and huge question. But I think it could encourage young people then to take that route, and also to tell them that this is a feasible, very good route. Start as a practical in the practical end, and then you have all possibilities to also end up in the academic end. I think that is a message that needs to come across, because as it is today, we give them the message that you need to start in the academic end.
Yes.
But when doing that, I think there's no way
missing something.
Yes.
Yeah. But if there is any other fields than this, adding this practical and mathematical part together somehow, so do you think we can start other program, other courses? Because actually our audience today in this workshop, they have from next week, they have some tasks to do. And this task mainly is to sit together in multidisciplinary groups, like each group 4 or 5 persons, and they will come with one course that link few things together. So maybe one of these groups, they can come with a course that try to link the practical to mathematical part in the point that you have highlighted. But do you think there is other opportunities to do such combination from your point of view of CEO person, like administration side?
Okay, you mean on the administration side or more management side, or
both. So like here, like if there is another point of view in terms of connect people who are doing hardware and software, for example, if this is also interesting.
Yeah, I think I need some thinking time on that question. I'm sure there are a lot of possibilities and areas where this is of interest. For example, I think the management part is a bit difficult to actually to learn. You have to experience a lot, but you can prepare. You can start something. You can initiate something at the university, for example. And I think what is actually missing, or what I felt was missing, was the understanding of the more financial economic parts.
Okay.
So perhaps that's different as of today, but we did not have any kind of courses in project management or trying to, of learning how to handle a project financially wise. So that was something that we had to learn when we after some years in the working life. So, because I think at some point, if you have, for example, if you have a master's degree, at some point in time, you will ask to have some kind of a management responsibility, and then you also need to cover the financial parts of the business.
Okay. Yeah.
Perhaps the engineers could be prepared for doing that.
Yeah.
Not being full-fledged CFOs, but to learn
At
the basics.
least have some basic things.
Yeah.
Now, I think this is maybe I didn't tell you that, but maybe our audience know. This course or this interview is part of a large EU project called Cloud Earth Eye, and in this Cloud Earth Eye, we try to speak with academia, with academic people, speak with a business sector, with government bodies, in order to find where is the gap. We target mainly in our project the gap between big data, environmental science, and economy. How, for example, students who has a background in big data and analyze of or IT experience, how he or she can establish a company. And in this case, he or she will missing this management and financial point. So we try to find a way in order to not to give, not as you just said, not to make a master student who just graduate from engineering department or in faculty of engineering have skills of CEO, for example, but at least have some knowledge in order to speak the same language like the administration part of a company. So this is our target, not to give them deep knowledge, but shallow level knowledge, make them ready to start their career. So this is our target. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But do you think if we return back again to this question about your suggestion, do you think we need to sort of increase our collaboration with the business sector? Try to make you have highlighted that your company over internship and sort of monitoring program and summer school, things like this. Do you think we have to increase this somehow?
I think just from the hip, yes, I think that is very valuable, both from the university side and for the students, because from the student side, they will of course get more knowledge about the working life in general, and also being then acquainted with the companies, the structures of the company, and what it the different tasks and how companies are run. So I think the basic, very simple answer is yes. I think that will be a benefit for all, also for the companies that are taking part in such a program.
And who should start such programs? Like business sector, like you, for example, send someone from your company to a university, say, hello, we have this summer 3 scholarship, or university should come to the business sector and ask them for support. So who should go to who? Good question. I know.
Very good question. What we have today is that we have employees that has a very good contact with the universities and the professors there. And then we also have take part of what is it called, networking days at the university, and that is basically driven from the students' side. So it is actually a structure there, but it is hidden and it is informal. Perhaps the initiative could come from the university to foresee that the students also end up in call it good companies, not companies that are exploiting people, or there must be some kind of a qualification. Yeah, because yeah, things could happen around. So it is important that the companies taking part of this is serious and are doing for the right intentions. Being driven from the student side entirely, that would be difficult, and doing it from the company's side, I think then we will end up with a lot of different approaches. Perhaps that is not the way. So to have a more uniform, more unified way of doing it, I think it must be from the university side.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe I can get this opportunity because we aim at some stage to train our students in our Cloud Earth program. So maybe I can contact you later at a later time this month or so, asking you can offer us like 1 or 2 scholarship during the summer, next summer or so, for our students. So I will try to just follow up with you. Maybe you can just offer us something.
Yes, please do that. And for us it is valuable to have a kind of a what is the annual plan for both scholarships and also so the different programs for the master's thesis or the bachelor programs, so that we can plan for it. So that is also important.
Yes. So I will be in contact with you once we finish with some ideas, and we'll see how we can develop it a bit. So I know you are very busy, but I have one question more, if you allow me to ask. What is, from your opinion, what is the challenges that can face this collaboration between business sector and academic sector?
I think that
in term of courses, not research.
Okay. I do not have that deep knowledge about the different courses, so it is a bit difficult for me to answer. But I think I need them to go back to this combination of the practical and yeah, the mathematical approaches that we have graduated students that are capable of doing both. I think that is.
What is the main challenge to create such courses? Like a course combines this mathematical and the practical part.
I'm not sure if there are any big challenges. It could be that if I think back to my days at the university, you probably need a different kind of infrastructure, building-wise, actually, because you need labs, you need more practical stuff, you need perhaps other type of lecturers. So I think that is perhaps if not the most important challenge, that is a challenge.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So if, for example, say this program will be developed in mathematical department, for example, this means we need to have the labs.
Yeah.
So we need to get access for a lab. Okay, yeah, I can see this is a point of internal communication between different institutes.
Yeah.
In order to make labs of one institute available to other institutes, something like this.
Yeah.
And for the research, if we go a bit higher than just a bachelor and master level, if we go to a research level between academia and business, if you have a larger project, for example, and you need to involve academia in, what's the main challenge that you think of?
we have actually good experience with, for example, the master thesis. So, and my impression is that that part is going well. We are actually, I forgot to mention that we are also cooperating with SINTEF, which are then closely related to the universities both in Oslo and Trondheim, on various projects. So we are sort of linked to the academia through that.
I think SINTEF is a governmental institute. It's not a university, not related to university, right?
SINTEF is more, that is that is they are standalone, not
standalone.
Yes,
sort of a small university.
Yeah. So, but it is not a university.
Yeah, it's not a university. Yes.
Yep. So, but the main challenge, I have difficulties picking up some challenges there. My impression is that it is actually going quite well.
Okay. But you have highlighted just 1 minute ago or so that maybe we need a channel between universities and business somehow in order to facilitate this communication and facilitate this scholarship and create new training program for students at the business sector. Okay, and this is maybe need sort of high level decision at the university. Speak somehow with high level, high administration level in order to create such channel.
Yes, just to establish. Could be programs that we can enter, for example. But I know there's a lot of practical issues here, and I would also imagine that some private companies, they would not like to participate in such a. It's a competition of the best students.
Yes.
So, then it is also a competition between the companies of being the first one to actually
pick the students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is also a side where we could have some challenges.
Sort of competition between students, competition between companies somehow.
Yeah.
Now I think from your point of view, the things that you present today for us, that maybe this cross-disciplinary courses is important, but you in the business sector try to cover it somehow.
Yes, the cross-sectional. Then we need to employ people with that background. But that kind of a background is it is not often that we see that kind of people.
Yes.
So more people like that will be very much appreciated from our side.
Yes. So maybe I can ask our audience today who are watching our interview, try to just brainstorm together. Maybe they can come with a suggestion of one of the courses that you suggested, this course that joins the practical and the mathematical part. Maybe some of the audience are happy to make something like this. So it will be great if we can find after this workshop such course somewhere.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank you very much for your time. I know that you are very, very busy, but you made some time for us just to transfer your knowledge, your experience to the academia. And I hope that we, from our side, we can follow up. We can try to at least think how we can create such courses, try to find or figure out how we can build this channel between the academia and the business in order to train our students. So I would like to thank you very much, and see you around.
Thank you very much, and I hope you have 1 or 2 takeaways at least.
Yes.
Okay.